again, I just feel like my role is just to help innovate the old to the new. I think there's kind of a disconnect at times from the older generation to the newer generation, and I think the CAP program has an opportunity to fit old school back into new school and see how we can help balance the two and don't have the new school get too far away from the old school, and let them see this is how we did it, and maybe you guys can incorporate certain things of what we did into the game now and don't have it so far distance away from each other.
And what do you think created that generational gap between the old players and the new players?
I think a lot of it has to do with the internet.
They put these fancy stats up so people can see big numbers, 575 or something like that. But that's not really telling you the whole story. That batting average, RBIs, and home runs on the board all together when we play.
And you feel like those more specific analytics, that's what really
I call them
changed
hidden
the game.
agendas.
Hidden agendas.
There's a lot of things going on in the game that the fans are not happy with. And like pitch clock, you can throw 3 times. All these little small nuances that they came up in the game with sabermetrics has taken over the game and taken the old school out of it. And so old school needs to get back in the game. And then you bring in the sabermetrics, then you create magic.
And what do you feel like some of the biggest changes that have, put a sour taste in the mouth of some of the fans and even some of the players?
Well, I think number one, velocity. They're chasing velocity. And
The pitchers and the
pitchers, yeah.
Okay, the pitchers.
And the pitchers are really not making the adjustment to the velocity. How I beat this. So the speed is out the game. Now you don't have a lot of guys stealing 30, 40, 50 bases. So when you take that out the game, you don't really put pressure on a guy that throws velocity. When you got a guy that throws velocity, you put speed on the base paths, you disrupt it. Now when you make guys bunt, opposed to striking out, I don't want to see my shortstop striking out 150 times.
Right.
That guy needs to be bunt. He needs to be moving runners over and let the big boys eat. And that's what happens with the game. And so a lot of times the fans, they're watching no action going on.
Right.
But then when the playoffs come, then you start seeing old school baseball play because they're trying to win that game.
I wanted to talk a little bit about, because we're past the All-Star break, we're getting ready to go into the postseason, September fall ball, and you're one of the most experienced guys in the building in terms of playing postseason. Yeah. So tell me about what's the difference between, your regular season and, how you approach your postseason games.
You know what, for me, people look at it kind of not crazy, but I didn't approach it any different. I just felt like everything was very important. At bat to at bat, pitches and pitch was important because you didn't have that second chance. You got 4 wins or 4 losses, one or the other, and you're done. So it's that extra focus, but the bases are still the same. The outfield is still the same pitchers on the mound. You probably faced them before. So people get so excited about its playoffs. I look at it as everything else is the same. The only difference is how the media and the fans look at it. As it's postseason, I look at it as he's throwing the same pitch that he threw me in August.
Right.
He's throwing it again in October.
Right.
There's no difference. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna bunt. I'm gonna try to steal. I'm gonna try to do what I do to get on base and create havoc on the base path, because that's what I did.
And
So I did
this year's, 2025 postseason, who are some of the teams that you feel like that we should be looking at that are some of the favorites up front, that not your Dodgers, not your Yankees? Who are some of the teams that you feel like we need to be looking at?
Well, you have your favorites, but again, you gotta always look at your favorite. You can look at a team maybe like a Detroit. People don't really look at Detroit as something. They're doing pretty good, and the other teams they've always done, the Houstons, the Dodgers, like you said, the Yankees. But Boston is going to kind of slip in there as well. But again, you just gotta look at the teams that are going well around end of August, September. Those are the teams, because there's some sneaky teams that's going to squeeze in there. but you don't know. But sometimes you start to get on the roll when you're going into the playoff, and that's why I'm glad they expanded the playoff teams opportunity, because sometimes you get on a little roll and you never know.
Right.
Never know. Milwaukee might be stepping it up. We'll see.
Right. And how do you feel about like the New York teams right now? Because I'm a New Yorker, man, and we hurting right now on both sides.
I don't know, bro. Yeah, you know, the Big Apple right now is kind of got a big bite in it, and I don't know what's going on.
Experience, playing with the Nets towards the end of your career.
Well, I was 40 years old at the time, and I was more of like a mentor guy at that point in my career, because I knew it was pretty much the end for me, because I was losing the desire to go out here and do it. But I did it so I can help mentor younger kids that was on the team. Once you get older, that's your responsibility to the next guy, is to help them evolve into a better player.
Before we close this down, we are with the Source Magazine. You're from a different generation, but you still have to tell us your top 5 rap artists in the world.
Man, that's all. Top 5.
Yes.
Rakim, DMX, Jay-Z, Kanye, and I like B40.
40, okay. Bang. Got you. Mr. Sheffield, appreciate your time.
Man.
And Source Magazine, source.com.
Source Magazine, baby. Let's go.